here and there. He's getting setbacks from all over. But one thing is certain, all of us have been so empowered. We have been motivated. We love him and cherish him so much. One question that everyone that I've met or that knows Joshua keeps asking, be it from Ethiopia or to the Caribbean islands or to the Americas or to Brazil, they keep asking, how can we support Maponga Joshua? Tonight, we're going to talk about this structure because we cynically, I can say that, organize with some well-wishers and some goodwill people in the diaspora on the continent decided to catch Maponga Joshua by force by organizing a fundraising, a GoFundMe to support all the structures that he's putting out there for the people of Africa in the diaspora and on the continent. This is a lot of work out there. And as a social entrepreneur, I know him so well. He is not about the money. He's about the vision. But then people like this have to be managed by people that are bringing in the money for him to manage the vision. That is the way we're going to do it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready. If you were not informed about this, we're going to do this GoFundMe for Maponga Joshua's project 1 month on the Pan-African Daily TV. Every conversation, we would share the link. Good. So, but don't forget that we're also, the link for the satellite fundraising is still going on, but that's not a priority. Like I said, the priority today and for the next month is about how we want to fund Maponga Joshua to carry on the mission that our ancestors has put him on stage to do for all of us. Yes, for all of us. So we should start by one project. When we finish from that one, we move to the other. So I look forward to your enormous contribution, to your support tonight, to click on the link, the GoFundMe link, and just donate. I mean, all what you can donate. We've been talking about the investment forum with him. That is something else. But what we're talking now is he needs to be strategically positioned in the means where he can act the office of thousands of volunteers that are working on his initiatives and his project, can easily manage things without going to ask for Western funding. As all of us know, the Pan-African Daily TV, the Joshua Maponga, the PLO, and the other structures are funded, should be funded by Africans for Africans. Yes. So I've been cracking a lot because Maponga has just wiped the tears from my eyes, as you all have been flooding condolence messages to my cousin that just passed away a day before in a ghastly motor accident. I want to use this opportunity to thank all of you that shared those moments with me. And Joshua's been actually talking to me for the past 2 days and say, no, it's going to be okay. We have to get the job done because it's just a transition. And I want to thank you, Joshua, for all that. For being with me in these times and for every time ever. So, are you ready, Joshua?
You can shoot.
You can shoot. I want to start by something that I see.
Let me start off by thanking you for inviting me on this beautiful platform. It's a beautiful season. It's a beautiful time. As the writings of Charles Dickens says, it was the worst of time and it was the best of times. And we needed to go through Corona for us to meet. The pandemic created an opportunity. All of a sudden, I had enough time. I was sitting around doing very little, and we started developing, thinking, writing, and producing the information that we had. Earlier on, I was doing my business and doing other things. And I had no time. I had no time for fully focusing on the African continent. So yes, something good is coming out of the pandemic. We have been able to put some few, tools out there, and we want to create an institution of learning. You don't need to see me. You don't need to visit me. From where you are, you can take the information that we are sharing with you and implement it and create a library for yourself without a single book in that library. You can start having a process and a way of thinking.
Mhm. Absolute. Joshua, are you the one that manufacture these things that you put on? Let me just start by your fashion, because your fashion alone speaks everything about you. I mean, before I talked to you, you were putting up a kind of a, I don't know, it's a traditional hat that is being seen in northern Nigeria, or the Igbo people wear it a lot. Who does your fashion? Particularly the head caps, the heads, the caps, and the different types that you put on.
And on and on and on. I've produced about 40 of them, which is on my own fashion range, which I have done. And when I'm bored and I'm at home, there you go. When I'm bored and I'm at home, then I play around and do some crafts and do some art. And some of it I want to auction it actually, so that we can begin to do fundraising for the projects that we're lining up, because we are not going to be running to the West to be looking for colonial money to do African businesses. So you have to order. Maybe I will send some pictures of the entire range of the hats that I have, plus the famous thinking tool that we are going to go through today. And then from there, people can press some orders if they want to buy some paraphernalia. And I also do some art that I have painted. I have about 400 paintings that I have developed. And I think we can actually convert what we have into a funding model. So not that I'm selling it for the value that it is. It's just a small contribution. It's a small contribution, and you can also collect something, a paraphernalia from my own hands that you can keep as a souvenir for your life. I'm not going to be here with you forever. I'm only with you for a season, and while I'm here for this season, let's make it worth a while. My heart sinks, and I know we don't have the abundance of time, and we needed to work faster and more diligently. With more resources, maybe I could do slightly much more than what I'm doing right now, and reach out to as many people as possible before I cross over and join my forefathers.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's exceptionally of you. And I mean, I know you that you write. I know you that that you do other things. But you know, I've been so amazed about the collections that you're putting on every day. Those who know you, those that are following you, and particularly your headscarves. This is very, very amazing. Anyway, let's go into the topic of today. What is the gospel according to Maponga Joshua Marara MJM? What is the gospel on farmers of God? What is it that we need to know?
I've done about 15 books, and I think about 6 or 7 of them are now available on the market. And most of these works, they are a reflection. They are a reflection. I've been doing church work for the past 33 years. I've been to college. I've trained as a religious minister. The concept of bishop is not fake, it is true. Yes, I have been there. When they say pastor, they're not joking, it's true. I have been there. And my career development, however, does not undermine my cultural calling. I think the universe had it to send me through various schools of learning, so that at a much age, I could begin to start consolidating all the information that I have collected all along, from the Jewish religion, from the Islamic faith, from the Christian faith, but most importantly also from the Christian perspective. The gospel according to Maponga J is an old man who is looking towards the sunset of his life, and he's trying to make sense of the many questions that he has always had, and has never had an opportunity to answer those questions. When I went to college, I was told, you can't answer that question. You can't ask that question now. You must wait until you are in your second year. You must wait until you are in your third year. 7 years later, those questions were still not answered. Then I started working. They told me, no, you are going to get your answers when you work. When you get experience, you will get the answer. I was still not answered. By the time I'm an old man now, I'm asking the questions, and then the tables turn. They said, no, you can't be asking questions. We are the ones who must be asking you questions. So, but how do you ask me questions before you answer my questions that I had? That frustration gave birth to my style of writing, which is not very recommending, but it's an inquiry. It's an interrogative method where you are writing more questions for people to start thinking. And I think if we can change our software, the quality of our thinking, we can most likely begin to do a new narrative for the continent and beyond. And for that reason, the gospel, I'll be writing a chapter every day, or once every 2 days, once every 3 days, when I have the inspiration. One day when I close my eyes, you guys can take all those chapters, translate them in your various languages, and teach your children a new way of thinking. That would be my contribution for the African continent.
Wow. I mean, what more? I am seeing, I'm on the chapter 70. Chapter 70 of the Watchers Tools for Thinking, or Thinking Tools. And it is a lot of stuff out here. I mean, I cannot even go through. In chapter 70, we still have sub-verses that are almost how many? More than 4. All right, let me just read only one. The first line, something that you talked about, the Chinese fungi, and that really caught my attention. You say Akebuland is saturated with European Chinese fungi. The nation has become materialistic and lost the beauty of elders. Elders, I don't know what you say, sitting under a tree and sharing wisdom, proverbs, idols, stories, and euphemism. The new generation needs thinking tools to navigate the global mental bullies. In life, one has to negotiate and seek for solutions. Now, what is this thinking tool? I'm just taking only that. If you say Alkebulan, what is Alkebulan? People have been hearing that. Is it, and some are saying it's the original name for Africa. How did you come to that, Alkebulan?
It's one of the oldest names that was used for the continent. Alkebulan simply meaning the mother of the continent, the mother of humankind. Alkebulan, Africa, or you want to use Kush, or you want to use the Hamites, or you want to use the Libya, or you want to use Ethiopia. Through various times and ages, the continent has had a change of names. But in our present generation, in the last 200 to 300, 400 years, we have found ourselves being called Africa, which is Africa. But our very original humankind, the origins of all life, and it is one of the oldest names that our continent was named after. So in my entire gospel, I've decided to write the letter to Alkebulan. And Alkebulan, very interestingly so, Alkebulan is not a man. Alkebulan is a woman. And the whole book is written with a pure appreciation of women and the role that the feminine energy and the feminine goddess who gives birth to humanity and mankind must play in the role in which she must bring up her children, the quality of husband that she's sleeping with, the quality of time she's spending with her children, the quality of knowledge she's sharing with them, the medicines that she's giving them, the food that she's preparing for her children. So it's actually a very subtle writing which seeks again to establish the role of women, but more so as Africa is our motherland. I am actually speaking at various levels that as a mother and as a woman and as a country and as a continent, you are feminine. How do we manage feminine energy as a country? That speaks of love, that speaks of caring, that speaks of protection, that speaks of reproduction, that speaks of continuity and prosperity and stuff like that. So the book is actually written in a feminine voice to remind the land we are living in that it is actually our motherland. There is no fatherland, it's our motherland. And for that reason, we want to encourage, we want to assert and affirm all our women, beautiful African women. You don't represent just women. You actually represent the continent itself.
This is interesting stuff out here. This is very interesting. Now there's a lot of revelation coming up about, you know, the femininity and the power, the spirit, the spirituality that has been hidden, and all these colors that we've been having here, exactly like you are saying the same thing. And we see it in the Farmers of Thought repeatedly. You even use in one of the series, you talked about the role of exactly polygamy. In a kind of a way, I love the way you put the thought provocative. In one series that I watched, that I really followed you, you ask yourself, why would I be a legal woman to my husband, and because I don't know why, I divorce and I become a concubine? So I mean, I'm just picking out some of the very interesting and challenging, thought provocative in this Farmers of Thought, and asking you viewers actually to follow the Farmers of Thought series, and you're gonna see a lot that we're looking for already existing there. Now, Joshua, when you provoke this thought, I see a lot of comments, like people are asking, are you a politician now? Are you a pastor? Are you a traditionalist? What is it? What are you?
The most unfortunate part is we have gone to school, and you are told you must be this or that.
Yeah.
I want to take you back to school and say, and change just one small word and say you can be this and that. And that. I am a father, I'm a husband, I'm a neighbor, I'm an uncle, I'm a grandfather, I'm a cousin, I'm a nephew, I'm a niece. How many am I? I still remain one person, but relationships are dynamic and diverse. And so when people are asking you, are you a pastor? Or are you a politician? Or are you this? I don't need to be this or that. I can be this and that, and that, and that. That is the dynamics which the Western colonization has not trained us. Because once you are put in one column of life, you are supposed to stay there and don't change and don't move and stick to it. But for me, I play more than 15 music instruments. I do art, I paint, I'm a fine painter, I'm a craftsman, I'm a writer, I'm this, and I've not died. I'm just doing it because maybe there's no limitations to what you can do with yourself and with your time. So I'm not a politician. Please don't put names on me. I don't want to be a politician. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a pastor. Don't call me a pastor. I don't want to pastor anybody. Don't call me a bishop. I don't want to be a bishop. I've done that. Just call me a watcher. Call me a watcher. I'm the one who is looking. The one who is looking. And when I'm looking, I'm only not seeing trees. I'm seeing flowers. I'm seeing animals. I'm seeing mountains. I'm seeing children dancing. I'm seeing the felt. I'm seeing the sky. I see the sea. See, because when you see, you are not limited to seeing only one thing, and you see in color. So I see all the shades and the spectrums. I see both the vector and the scalar quantities. I see both the abstract and the concrete. I see the internal and the external. I see the spiritual and the physical. So it's not limited. So you cannot ask me, when you are looking through the window, what are you seeing? Then I must only say I'm seeing grass. You can't just see grass. There's grass, there's houses, there are trees, there's everything else. I've decided to take a position of just being a watcher. Literally, that's a beautiful title for me. I'm comfortable there. If I'm watching politics, then I'll comment, oh, well, that bull has got big horns. Then I hear theologian, oh, that sheep, it looks injured, and etc. That goat over there, those orange are getting ripe, and etc. So it's an observation window. I've been privileged by the ancestors to be able to look at life from this oversight, from this overview, and have a wide eagle's view on the planes that are below. I am not a fundi. I'm not educated by all earthly standards. All I'm doing is a reflection and commentary on social issues, and possibly here and there giving some options of thinking, how about we look at it like this? How about if we look at it like this? Can we try that? Can we try this? And let people begin to find the desire of something different. If I give you one choice, it's not a choice. I must give you 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 things. Then you can choose. Africa cannot be stuck with democracy, one choice. If you don't do that, then you are gone. No, there's not only one method of governance in the world. There are more than 50, 65 methods of governance, from indigenous governance to democracy, to aristocracy, to mobocracy, all the cracies you can think about, to monarchialism, to dualism, so why are we stuck with an American concept of running the world? And right now, Americans are stuck with their democracy. Trump is refusing to leave the office. So if democracy is harassing its owners, who are we? When we are copying, you cannot be writing a physics examination and you are copying someone who is writing an English examination. Those answers are wrong.
Democracy is harassing its leaders. I'm just laughing.
True. And actually, what even makes it funny, they're also complaining that maybe Biden rigged the votes. You know, he smuggled the votes. And I'm saying, how interesting that America is actually having a problem of rigging votes. I thought it was an African problem only. And Trump does not want to share power. I thought it was an African problem only. And having said that, how beautiful for Africans to go to war to fight for land and dignity, and they come back and they say we have won democracy. We never went to war as Africans to fight for democracy. Democracy was never our problem. Our problem was colonialism, oppression, marginalization, racism, apartheid, land dispossession. You know, those were our issues. We went to war together. So when a leader comes into power, please deliver what you went to